Last time on Perle, it was all about the DIY. We replaced the canvas top above the steering for a much needed and much safer fiberglass hardtop. It was a perfect first for experimenting with fiberglass work. And it turned out just right. It's in the beginning of January in 2024 and I am on my way to Perle. She's on the heart and she's been on the heart for I think a month now, and she's gonna stay on the heart for a couple of months. It's the beginning of New Year and that's always an opportunity to look back on the previous year. So that is what we're going to do today. Yeah, sit back, enjoy year one with Perle. Full disclaimer though, we bought Perle in October of 2022, and since it's now beginning of 2024, it's actually 14 months, but we'll look back on it as year one. This moment, this exact moment, is one that we will never forget. It was one cold October day in 2022 when we laid eyes on Perle for the first time. It was a moment that marked both a culmination and a transition. A culmination of 4 years of searching for a catamaran and a transition into becoming catamaran owners for the very first time.
Tusind tak.
After a wee bit of celebration, it was on to the more serious business of getting Perle ready to go in the water. That meant a survey, followed by a few upgrades like new propellers, some general maintenance, and a lot of shopping for boat parts. And then it was time to invite you guys along for a first introduction.
Perle 38 fod catamaran fra 2009. Kom med ombord. Velkommen ombord på Perle 3. Vi glæder os til at invitere jer alle sammen ombord.
Skipping ahead a few months, till the end of March of 2023 was another big milestone for us. Splash Day. At this point, theoretically speaking, we had no idea whether or not she could float, because we had only seen her on the heart. Thankfully, she could, and she did. That led us to the next thing that we needed to tackle, the matter of how to get Perle home. As you may know by now, we are from Denmark. More to the point, a beautiful, picturesque small island in the Baltic Sea called Bornholm. But more on that in another video. We found Perle in the southern part of France, and ideally we would have sailed her home, taking all the time in the world. That was not an option, because we still have our day jobs in Denmark. Taking the shorter route up through the inland waterways of Europe was not an option due to her width. Putting her on a cargo ship and having her transported to Denmark for us was not an option either due to the price tag on such an endeavor. So the decision was that she'd had to be sailed home all the way from the Mediterranean, way down south around the Iberian Peninsula and into the Atlantic Ocean, and way up north to Denmark. That was a voyage of 3,000 nautical miles. The plan was that we would sail her whenever we could get time off from work, and the rest of the time we teamed up with a professional crew that would sail her for us. The first leg of the journey we did ourselves with the aid of these two gentlemen. They were not the crew that we hired, even though they acted like true pros, and it's safe to say that we couldn't have done it without their help. On April 3rd of 2023, we set sail on Perle for the very first time. Of course, as any sailor knows, it wasn't just dolphins, sunsets and calm waters all the way. We came face to face with all the challenges and obstacles that comes with a sailing lifestyle. That included mechanical problems, things that broke, searching for ship chandeliers everywhere to find spare parts, replacing spare parts, a solid variety of weather conditions, where we learned that Perle is both a strong and a safe boat, more stuff that broke, and more people that were willing to help us, more mechanical issues. It was a perfect blend of different kinds of sailing, from open water sailing and passing big cargo ships, to maneuvering in small locks and picturesque sailing on the inland waterways in the beautiful Netherlands. We also got an unwanted experience getting a fishing net stuck in one of our propellers. But all our obstacles faded on the backdrop of meeting nice people everywhere. And as May of 2023 came to an end, we sailed Perle through the Kiel Channel. And after that, it was into Danish waters with Perle for the first time. It felt as an accomplishment and an important first step in our sailing life with Perle. It was an early onset summer in Denmark in 2023, and we couldn't have asked for more perfect conditions to arrive in Perle's new home port. And on top of that, and to our surprise, we were met by good friends on the dock, welcoming us and welcoming Perle to Denmark.
Tusind tak. Tak.
Almost immediately after arriving in Denmark with Perle, we started to tackle what seems to be an endless list of projects and upgrades. One of the major things were our 2 engines. They had caused us problems all the way home, and we were in desperate need for professional help. And for what felt like the better part of 2023, we spent more time with our mechanic than with our friends and family. We replaced the old control panels that had been on the boat since she was first launched in 2010. We replaced some of the old hatches that were leaking. We got to do some super fun polishing of stainless steel and did some more engine work. It's not like everything we did was big, complicated jobs, or expensive for that matter, but it all added up.
Trying to remove all the names of the old boats, stitch by stitch on the dinghy, so we can have Perle III everywhere.
Fantastic.
Sometimes it's just nice to tackle the little things. And anyway, a job done is a job done. And we decided to up the level of our video editing. Until then we had edited our videos on iPhone, which is fine, but we decided that we wanted to invest in an editing computer and some editing software. So we did, and that was the beginning of a very steep learning curve. They say, not that I know who they are, but they say that when you're good at editing videos, 1 minute of video takes 1 hour to edit. And if we go by that standard, we have a long way to go. I guess it's good to know that there's always room for improvement. And then we did some more engine work. Don't get us wrong, it wasn't all work and no play. We did manage to do some sailing during the summer. By the end of August, we left Perle on her own for 5 weeks. We flew to Greenland in order for us to do our second job as expedition team on smaller cruise ships. And it's such a privilege that we get to show people from all around the world all the beauty that Greenland has to possess. This year was even more special than usual, and that was because of these 5 young Inuit ladies and their beautiful singing. After 5 weeks and 6,000 nautical miles around Greenland, we returned to project mode. We wanted to replace the canvas top above the steering with a solid fiberglass and elevated hardtop. Dressed in her new fiberglass hardtop, it was time to get Perle ready for the winter season.
Så er det den 4. december, og vi har lige forladt Tegn Havn. Skal ned til Nexø Havn og på Bedding. Og vi er -1 og næsten vindstille, og forventer at være fremme om 3 timer.
to where this video started. I am on Perle now, and she's on the heart, and I'm just gonna check up on her. We have these dehumidifiers everywhere. We have up here in the saloon. We have one in each of our 4 cabins, and yeah, they're solid hard, so they need to be changed. And one in here, and then we have this electrical dehumidifier in the salon. By the way, if you enjoy our YouTube videos, it would mean the world to us if you'd consider subscribing to our channel. It's absolutely free, of course. And if you enjoy our videos, please leave a like. So this was year 1 with Perle. Hope you enjoyed it. And that means that this video is coming to an end. So I guess the only thing remaining now is give you a little sneak peek into what 2024 will hopefully bring for us and for Perle. In the beginning of April, we are going to sail Perle to Sweden, to Simrishamn, where we have an appointment with the Swedish company Catamaran, who will be designing and making a cockpit tent for Perle. We expect that to make a world of difference, both in terms of comfort and safety. We're also going to tackle our electrical systems and components, among other things, in order to figure out what kind of electricity needs we have and to what extent we need to upgrade on our solar panels. Perle has 4 cabins, and we would like to turn one of those cabins into a utility room of sorts, where we hope to install a washing machine. And then there is that to-do list. The list that every sailor has, where no matter how many jobs are being crossed off, it just keeps adding on and on and on. And if everything goes according to plan, if we are skilled enough, and if we are lucky enough, come summer and we will throw off the bowlines, pull up the anchor, set sail, and begin a new adventure as blue water sailors.